All right, so it's 8 o'clock in the morning. We are about to go to our morning session here every day in our team. Every day at 8 o'clock, we do our sales mastermind. Today, I'm so looking forward to hear from one of our partners here. Sophie is gonna lead the mastermind discussion today. So let's join me here, join us this morning at our 8 o'clock in the morning mastermind session.
Something very simple, thank you for breath. So very often, I think this really starts the whole day. This starts as a philosophy, because if we don't have it in us, if we're not thankful for what we have, we don't have, we cannot give, we cannot serve. So I really start with that. And in terms of the mindset from a team environment, I really appreciate how many of us have come from other teams or have worked with other corporations. Many of us, right? So you have experienced other environments where there's not a team environment, right? Yes? And where it's probably challenging and competitive even within a team, right? We've come from different environments. Very often it takes kind of the turmoil, right? The plight, the afflictions, the challenges for us to appreciate what we have today. So what we have is a really good thing. When Rudy was up here a few minutes ago talking about the environment, I was thinking, okay, the environment is shifting. We're probably seeing it on the front line as agents. But what did he end up with? Do you remember what he ended up with? Perfect timing, perfect timing. Look at that mindset, perfect timing. So this positive attitude really starts with appreciating every single little thing that we have. And I come to that appreciation and really that attitude and mindset to start every single day. So when Rudy says, let's come to training 8 in the morning every day, I don't see it as, oh, I have to get up in the morning, oh, I have to get up and dress, oh, I better be doing this, or 100 of different complaints perhaps. But this is an environment for me to be together with my family at work. I really see you as a family at work. So if we get to know each other, when I have food, I'll say, have you eaten lunch? Do you want some food? How are you doing? And this is a kind of family environment that really moves me and really, really brings forth this really positive environment that reminds me every day that not just in my life, but this is a great place to be. And with that kind of mindset, when I go out and help clients, the clients can sense that this is a wonderful thing. I'm not here to just give them a house. They would be opening up their life stories. The husband and wife, sometimes when they're really stressed because of the buying environment, the husband would come and talk to me, and I become kind of like a counselor almost to try to resolve some of the things because they're entrusting me. And so when you hear kind of the adjectives perhaps I'm using, it's a very humbling really place for me to be, where people are not just saying, hey, get me this, get me that. I want to buy a house. And I'm reminded every day that they can go with anybody, but I am not anybody. We are not anybody. And that's the difference. For me, in terms of that, is how do we quantify something that's not quantifiable? And it's very difficult, I think, to articulate for me, but it has to be from your heart. If it's from your heart, it is the value that you're giving out. It's a gift. And for me, actually, it is priceless. What I'm giving out is priceless, but because this is a business environment, there is some value in return to the team. And through the team comes back to me that I can. So because of Rudy and Venny, because of the ISA team, because of the front desk team, because of everyone, because of Joseph here that is doing the video, because of you that we can, that I can. So I think that's something that's important for us to not just, really to have it in our heart and really to appreciate and really see. So I think it's very hard to really articulate, but for me it's a conviction. What we see on the MLS, the 2%, 2.5, whatever we see, is the transaction. To me, it's the transaction. The transaction of writing the contract, To me, it's as simple as that, if you would, because the simplest is we can deduce it down to somebody just, and that's happened before. I've had somebody, one of the leads I get, they just want us to write a contract. So for us, for me, that is the price, that's the cost of a transaction, and that's accepted. So for me, caring for someone, for the family, taking care of them, being available to them is really priceless. I'm willing to do this, but it's priceless. And I see the difference between the additional minus the MLS to be what they're willing to in recognition for my services to them, this concierge service. And Rudy mentioned something I think that's golden that reminds me. The ISA team, the admin team, the media team, everybody that's there to help so that I can, and I left it blank, so that I can what? There's a difference between service and serve. You cannot, to me, you cannot put a price tag on caring for people. You cannot pay somebody to really put their heart in. So the time that is afforded to me by really the team, the front end doing all of this, allows me to care, to have time to care. And so that's why in the beginning, we started with this exercise of the mindset of being thankful. Very often we tend to hear around us a lot of negative noises. You know, I don't have this is not good, this is terrible, this person's terrible, this customer's awful. And I would suggest humbly that we rise above all of the noises and really see the mission and the calling. Why are we here? We are here to serve. I think we use that word a lot, but there's a difference between serving. To me, serving is priceless. Service is worth. Yesterday we talked about the difference between worth and value. Worth is what somebody assigns. Somebody says, this is commodity. Commodity meaning anybody can give you this, whether it's a service, whether it's a good, a material. And I am willing to pay this price for this. But serving to me is priceless, and the fact that somebody's willing to put a monetary value to that, I am thankful for that, regardless if it's 5% or 2% or 1%, sometimes even zero. I have done transactions where I had to negotiate because it's a very difficult loan. I went to 8 lenders, and the loan wouldn't come through, and I made a lot of calls out to the listing agent to win that home, and that's a different story than the one Rudy was talking about, and I'm happy to share that as well. And in that case, I did not choose to take a VIP because they were so stretched. And one of the lenders, inside lender, suggested that they take out a hard money loan in the amount of $420,000 hard money. They have to pay back in 1 year. Do I have the heart to do that? No. So I would not let it go. I could not let it go. So I was frantically calling, looking for different lenders. Finally found Elijah. And I had to try to, so it was $150 penalty every single day. We were 10 days late. And I helped to negotiate away 7 days of that, so we had 7 days left. And so with that, there was no VIP because the family really had no money. So I negotiated with the listing agent, with the seller, and Rudy and I split, 4-way split, to pay $650. And that's the kind of care that we need to have. So it's really not about the money. The money is really the extra. It's nice to have the money, but when we go in there with a mindset that what I'm giving, what we are giving, what I'm able to because of we is priceless, but that somebody is willing to put something on this, anything at all, even if it's zero, I am thankful. So I think having that kind of mindset really helps and helps me sleep at night. So when I'm explaining the VIP concept to the buyer clients, I focus on the fact that this is really a team. And I actually spend the most time, now that we're kind of talking through, I spend the most time on explaining what team means. It's 2 slides, but I actually find myself spending most time to help them understand what that means. The 2 slides, one is the actual picture with all of our team in the picture. The other one is the slide that Rudy has up, that I really explain in context what it takes. And I try to tie it back to what they can recognize. And I would ask them, how did you end up calling our office? And I start with that as part of the conversation. Yes. Yes. Before I do that, when we sit down and we're going through the process of getting to know each other, the gift process, I also try to find out how did they find out about the team, what brought them here. And because that allows me to really focus and hone in on what this means to them, so that can link up to that. For example, some of them may say, oh, I found you on Zillow, or I heard you on the advertisement, or I saw this big sign between Rosemead and Huntington. And then after that, and we go through the VIP agreement, the VIP process, I actually talk about the whole team process. That remember, you were telling me that you saw this big billboard. And part of that is what our team does, so that we can reach out to our clients that become our friends eventually, that end up working with us, that we end up helping. And I would spend time to point to the slide. Also, there's another slide, this slide in the middle over here with a circle. And I explain that this is a team that does the videos, this is a team that does the administration, this is the team that does the calling, the servicing, so that you are serviced at the time that you are available. We can get a hold of you, and then you can come in and see one of our team members. And here I have the opportunity to work with you to provide the kind of service that you're looking for. So this is how I go through it. I personalize it, and I try to tie it back to how did they even come to get to know us. I have a really good friend that I work with. Is it okay if I work with my friend and I work with you? So her family is here, her husband is here, and so I was thinking, okay, with this kind of wonderful family, very timid, I need to paint a picture for them to understand. So I quickly said, well, it's kind of like if your husband is dating you, but ends up marrying someone else. Do you think that would be okay? So I think it got to her, it touched her. And so she said, okay, I understand. And I said, you know, the reason you feel like you have to work with more than one person, because you're not getting everything and beyond what you may need from one person. And I said, I respect that you want to work with your friend. And I said, whatever the decision may be for you and your family, I know you're making the best choice for your family. Please, you're welcome to call me anytime, regardless of whether you want to work with me. I actually said that to her. And so in time, she called me several times, asking questions. One night, got home late, and having dinner with my husband at 9:30, she calls me. She said, you know what? You were right. I am going to work with you and your team. And I said, thank you. I know you can entrust us to do our best for you, and we will go to the bat for you. And I reiterated the 3 promises that we have on our first slide on our VIP services, and that was about a month ago. And so since then, we have to live up to our promises every day, researching homes and going above and beyond, being available. And she likes to call me very late at night, but that's okay. And we've become really friends. I take them in my car and learn more about them. Come to know this family has been renting for 25 years, renting. They're deciding to buy now because the 2 sons graduated from school and they found a job. And now they, together with their father, are able to all chip in to pay for the mortgage to buy the home. And so in getting to know them more, I find out that one of the sons, first of all, the father drives to Beverly Hills, and he is a waiter there because the tips are more over there. And so he's been caring for the family. The mom is a homemaker, so she's taking care of the kid, the household, 2 sons there. And come to know, she tells me, oh, one of my sons, he goes really far to go to school. And I said, oh, okay, that's great. And she doesn't know the name of the school, and she just tells me that, oh, he just goes really far, he's a good kid. And I just ask him, oh, how about if I give you $1,000 and so you can take care of your living expenses and everything. And this son grew up here in the United States. He says, Mom, that's okay, no worries. This is really hard-earned blood money that you have. Keep it. I'll take care of myself. I get emotional when I think about it. So I called the son. The son was the one who came in he was the one who made the call to encourage the parents to come in and meet with us on our VIP appointment. I called the son and left him a voicemail. And I told him, your mom is so proud of you. You are really doing a great job. I just want to thank you that we have an opportunity as a team to serve you and your family. And then in time, when I get to know the son more, I learned that he graduated from Princeton. 4 years, full scholarship. And here's a family, here's the parents that have no idea what Princeton is, that brought up such a son. So they have 2 great kids, and so it just makes you want to really help them and care for them even more, because they don't have the means. We have the means, and we're here to get them what they need. So I help them with their just full services like our promise on a VIP. We get them financial, link them up with the financial resources, so on and so forth. So this is one of the stories that I know Rudy, our team, has a lot of. It's really touching to me. And so when I talk to the mom, she doesn't know what Princeton is. So I said, well, have you heard of Yale or Harvard? She says, oh yeah. She said, I have a friend whose kid went to UCLA, and a friend said to me, oh, where does your son go? I said, I don't know, I just know it's really far. I see him once in a while. He flies somewhere to the East Coast. She doesn't really know where. And so her friend told her, oh, my son goes to UCLA. Your son goes to some Timbuktu, some school out there, you don't even know where it is. So I just smiled, and I said, now, since I asked her about Yale and Harvard, and she knew what that was, she says, oh, they are good schools. I said, you know what? You can tell your friend that Princeton is the same, if not better, than Yale and Harvard. And that your son went there for free, and he came back here to take care of you. And I said, I'm really honored to work with you and your family. Thank you for the opportunity of entrusting me and trusting our team to serve you. And so we became really good friends. And she would call me late at night. That's the time that she's available. And I have taken them in my car to drive them to different places. And they're such caring people. Every time I drive them, especially in the heat, like right now I'm getting a few shades darker. But your heart is just so encouraged by them. Every time they want to take me out to lunch because they feel like I'm working so hard for them. And this is the kind of experience that is priceless. That's why yesterday when Lori and I had that little conversation, I shared with her that our heart, our caring, our intention, our kind of like a mission for me, our conviction is priceless. The fact that people are willing to pay for that, don't be guilty, because they cannot find this anywhere else. It is your heart. It is priceless.